We've got a few minutes to go anyway. Hold on. Oh yeah, because in case it all goes Pete Tong with all my YouTube stuff. Let's just shut that down. Because you know what happens. Hold on. Oh yeah, because in case it all goes Pete Tong. There we go. Shut that. Oh, Marie!
Anne-Marie.
How are you?
Good.
Does anyone know, how do you turn notifications off on your computer to silent? To silent? Anyone know? Nah, doesn't matter.
Like that, I'll switch off my phone.
The switcheroo. The old switcheroo.
You got my phone, Liz? Can you just put it on silent, please?
Right. We are live. We're going out to the world. Good morning. Good morning, world. Good morning, everyone here. Look I'm surrounded by beauty. Look at this. Oh, we've all got Lee, Marcus, and Marie, and Aaron. I'm excited. I don't know how to set this, so you might hear beeps and things going on, but we'll deal with it. So today we are taking a giant leap into the unknown, not only on a physical level, but also a mental level, because I haven't got a clue what I'm going to say, but that's okay, because it's unknown. So today we're going to talk about the unknown, and the unknown is full of possibilities. As a person that kind of just like lives my life every day in the unknown, I never know what I'm doing from one minute to the next, apart from with these talks. It's kind of like an anchor in my life. On a Tuesday and a Friday, I'm doing these talks, and I know at 11 a.m. I'm going to be there. So that is not unknown. But on a general level and on a bigger scale, my whole life, I've always lived not knowing what the hell I'm doing and what's around the corner for me, because being in the music industry and being self-employed and all of those things creates the unknown, but we are inviting what we are thinking, our thoughts and our design of life, we're inviting that into the present. So I kind of like live on trust. I live on trust. I live on the fact that I have an idea about something and I can see the bigger picture, and that bigger picture is achievable because everything's possible. So on that basis, my unknown, although I'm unknown on a wider scale, my goal is not unknown. My goal is there. So I'm kind of like making it a reality. So it can be very scary for people, as they are, you know, people like routine, they're scared of change, but change can be extremely freeing. So there's two ways that you can look at the unknown. You can look at it on a basis of don't like change, don't want to move forward, all of those things. Or you can look from a different perspective, where you can look at it as, this is a blank page and I am writing my own book, I'm writing my own story, and this is a beautiful thing because we're free. We're free, we're not tied to anything. We can just literally design the world that we want to create in, and that is the unknown. And creativity comes from the unknown, when you don't know what you're doing. And can you imagine the possibilities? Can you actually imagine? There's so many. The whole world of possibilities. So where we start from my point of view, as a writer, sometimes writers can get blocks and they don't know what they're going to write about. But if you can get yourself in the present and get that sense of trust and just let that flow happen, it kind of just flows out of you, just like it is right now when I don't know what I'm saying, but it's just coming out. So I live like a songwriter has a keyboard in front of them, if they're a pianist, or a guitar or an instrument. And on that instrument is the world's next #1 hit single. And no one knows what that is. But every single musician that is a writer or a book writer, any kind of a creative, there's the next #1 can be written right now, right here. So it's a possibility. Everything's possible. So I kind of live my life on that basis. I would like to throw out to you beauties. Let's start, we're going to go downwards. Let's go Marcus first, because we're going to go like this today, like a dance. Marcus, what's the unknown to you?
I think you made an amazing job of saying that this morning, Danielle. It's like it's absolutely. I think like for me, I have this quote that I do at the end of all of my videos, which says, "Reshape your life and create a world that you design." So for me, I think as you've just said, we all live in the unknown, whether we like it or not. That is just the reality of what we live in, and I think we can either fear the unknown or we can get excitement over the unknown. And the way you just described everything is excitement over the unknown. Now we know in life is going to throw things at us. Like it's going to throw peaks and troughs and like it's going to be a hurdle, and that's what life is. It's like an assault course and we don't know what's coming next. And sometimes it's going to be fun, and sometimes it's going to be difficult. And like yourself, we're in the music industry. We own a music agency. All of our industry, all of our business is based around the music industry. And therefore, we've gone from doing very well financially and like just lifestyle and all the rest of it to everything just stopping completely. It's not even like we've slowed down, it's stopped at zero. Like our income has stopped to zero. And that gives us this kind of unknown, and people can suffer from anxiety because of that, which is something we've touched on. But what we're doing during this time, and I think is the best way for me to describe the unknown, is just go into our personal thing right now, because we are in the most unknown times ever. We have spent our entire lives building this career. Ever since I left school, I was so determined to make a success of the music industry and I'd be a success in the music industry. And spent my entire life and career, everything I've done, I've missed like weddings and I've missed family gatherings and made so many sacrifices to get to that goal. And then all of a sudden overnight, it's been taken away from us. And we don't know how that's going to return or when it's going to return. And there's just this massive unknown. But what we're doing in this moment is sitting back and going, right, we don't know what's going to happen. We've spent our whole life and we can't dwell on that. So let's do what you've done this morning. Let's be excited about that. Let's think like, well, this is giving us an opportunity to maybe pivot and look at other things in our life. Like I'm on this chat with you guys. I'm really, me and you, Danielle, are going through like a process together right now of growing our stuff of our self-development and personal branding and coaching. So this is a whole new unknown. And we can put that as an exciting thing. My wife is spending hours every single day studying to set up her own e-commerce business, because we've got to think about other things during this time. So I think it all comes down to those things of like, how do we frame our life? I say that a lot. It's like, how do we frame things? So how do you frame the unknown? Do we frame it with excitement or do we frame it with fear? Now, of course, you're going to get some fear and apprehension of thinking like, oh, what if and what if that? But there's a saying that comes of going like, you can kind of say, what if, or you can go, oh, what if? Do you know what I mean? You can, even just the way that you say things and think things can be so different. So for me, the unknown has to be exciting, because we know in life, life isn't dead. This is a very common thing, but life isn't dead. It's not just this flat line. Life is this kind of like, you know, spikes and peaks and troughs. And knowing that is the exciting thing. And not knowing what is coming next is the exciting thing. Because if you know what's coming next, then it's not exciting anymore, is it? And it becomes pretty boring. And, you know, so that for me is like...
All stable, if you look at it from that direction. So... But it can.
Everything moves, doesn't it? Everything moves, and we're supposed to. Everything in life is moving. You know, we're part of this unbelievable creation. We're part of this universe and energy. And I've said this before, no matter what your beliefs are, whether you believe in God or you are Christian or Muslim or whatever your beliefs are, we all fundamentally come back to the same thing. And I've always said this, no matter who we are and what we believe in, if you just look at ourselves in, you know, even for the atheists out there that go, there is nothing and blah, 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 you got to go, well, we are something, aren't we? We're here in this miracle of life. Like we've grown from an electrical connection, grown inside your mother and being born into this universe. That in itself is a miracle, and we don't really understand it, and we don't really know where we've come from and where we're going. We have all these theories and stuff, but I always say the magic of this is we don't actually know, and knowing that we don't know is the key for me. So, we know, just let's know that we don't know, but let's face the reality of this reality. Even for those people, like there's loads of theories, these people that will say we live in a simulation. Well, if we're living in a simulation, that's still incredible. Like whatever the answer is, it is incredible. And we don't know what we don't know. So being that, it just makes me go, well, I don't know. I don't actually know anything. I can only assume that I know the things that I'm picking up along the way because I've been given the gift of consciousness and being aware of myself and my body. And, you know, I'm here with you guys today. We don't know what we're going to say, don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know what's going to happen this afternoon. We just don't know. And I think if we have the fear of the unknown, then we live in fear and anxiety, and that can take us into a whole different realm. But if we can reframe the unknown as excitement and accept we don't know what we don't know, and being a human being on planet Earth, the facts are we don't know, and we are going to live in the unknown. So if we're living in the unknown, let's get used to that fact. Let's get positive about that fact. And then, like you say, everything's moving. Even every single cell in our body is moving and vibrating, and we're in this vibrational frequency. No matter what you want to believe in, that's where we are. So for me, that's where I see the unknown. So.
Oh, I just love that. Wasn't it great? That's just flipping made me want to go run around the block. And I don't run.
I'll say one thing. And we had a massive thunderstorm the other night here, and it came out of the blue. We didn't know that was coming. It came absolutely out of the blue. And my wife was studying on the computer, and all of our garden furniture was getting soaked. We just didn't know that was coming. So instead of worrying about it, I actually stripped to my underwear because I didn't want to, like, we got neighbors might see. And I went and lied in the garden, just looking and watching the storm. That was just incredible. What an experience. It was an incredible, amazing experience. I was freezing. I went and had a hot shower after. So it was amazing. And that was just a moment out of the blue. That was an unknown moment. So, you know, we can either fear the storm or we can go and enjoy the storm.
Oh, get in there, boy. That was good. That was good.
Just hope my neighbours didn't see me. That's
I hope you had a live stream on you at the time.
We have security cameras, so I'll be on stream somewhere.
Fabulous. Google Earth. Here we go. Zoom in. Oh my God. Thank you so flipping much. That was brilliant. That was, Marie Beauty. We're going round. We're going round.
I'm going to meet my master.
Yeah, you can do that. Marie.
Good morning, everyone. So happy to see all your beautiful faces and good energy as usual.
It's
always great. Always great.
Yeah. So the unknown to you, Marie, the unknown.
The unknown to me, I would say this is just the essence of life. The minute we are here, that's what life is all about. It's just this beautiful journey. You never know what's on the next step, and the action of right now will determine what happens tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. But until such a time I know what I'm doing now, I don't know what's happening tomorrow. And even though when I know that, I still don't know what's going to happen after that. Because until such a time I'm in the present moment to do something that would generate something else, I mean the unknown, right? So for me, that's important. That's one of the, it's exciting. I mean, there's two, definitely, Marcus, I'm with you. There's two ways to do it. You can be either scared with it, which automatically you are not able to get into the flow. You are wary about everything. You're scared to make the decision. You stay to put a step forward. What if? And you know what? You can be excited about it. Because it's all about us. We've all got the ability to do it all. And if we were to know, how would we be able to maintain all our options open? Cognitively, mentally, emotionally, we wouldn't. It would be just not only just boring, but I mean, even in our brain, if we were only to use the very same cell because we know what's happening, we wouldn't need anything else running preventively for whatever is happening we don't know. So the unknown is the only thing that keeps us powerful and give us the ability to go with the flow, to feel our body. Because whilst I say the unknown, there's one thing I would like to say for me. I think the concept of unknown is mental. Then there's the concept of, because in our heart, in our subconscious, we don't know. So the feeling of not knowing is actually our mental has no understanding of what is happening after or how we're going to be doing something, right? But how often in our heart, we don't know what's happening, but we know if we're on the right track, or we know if we're not on the right track. If we can connect to that body, get deep down into there, ask the question, what am I feeling about it? Is that a good move, not good step, etc.? We've got that instinct that tells us it's good or it's not good, or you're on the right path. So then the question is, what is really the unknown? Are we referring when we say that to mental only? Because I'm convinced on the vibration level, on the internal level, we know. But the beauty of it, if we had to know all that, then we wouldn't be functioning, right? Our brain will be jammed with all the information we've accumulated at a sensorial level, and we know. But it's just beautiful. That's what keeps things exciting. It forces me, to tap into anything. When we drive our car, I think I used an example the other day. We know we can drive, but when I start my car and I go to the shop, I don't know how many cars I'm going to cross, how many pedestrians, this, but it's okay. I still go. We still move.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We still go forward, and that's the beauty. We look today, we're the same. We never know what's going to happen. But also, whatever anyone says makes us bounce on somebody that make our response bounce onto maybe new ideas. So knowing would mean limiting ourselves to whatever we've got in mind. And we stick up to what we know. Not knowing means no expectation. No expectation means I can go everywhere. I can explore everything.
Nice.
And open my mind, my heart, everything. Experience.
Beautiful.
But it's a mindset. It is a mindset to be excited about it. If we want to make it happen, we don't know anything. We don't.
We don't.
We just enjoy the journey, but that's it.
The journey. That I love that saying, Marie. Enjoy the
just the journey, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you. You are beautiful, Marie. You. I love that yellow, by the way.
It's supposed to be green, but it could be, it's actually lemon green. You're quite right. Let's find the merging point, lemon green.
Lemon green, it's good, it's good. Thank you, darling. Okay, my loves, we're going to Aaron. Hey, darling. Oh, can you hear me? Can you speak? There he is. There he is.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, darling.
All right. So, yeah, you all have said it beautifully so far. So hopefully I can add something useful to it. Yeah, I do agree that it's a journey, and enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride, because it's a roller coaster, and life does change, shifts and moves, and always prepares us for whatever life throws at us, because it makes us grow. It stretches us. Stretches our comfort zone, and it really boils down to what beliefs you hold in yourself, right? As you talked about it, and so the way you perceive the unknown totally depends on what you believe in. So if you believe that anything that happens to me is an opportunity to grow, Marcus mentioned opportunity, and Danielle mentioned excitement. If we have those beliefs, invariably you're not going to fear the unknown, because you're excited about it. You are you think it's an opportunity to grow, and I want to add curiosity to this mix. So to be curious about the future, I wonder, how can I grow from this, from the challenges? Because growth means progress. You're making progress in life, and that equals happiness. So to me, because I have changed those beliefs, the unknown is exciting, is an opportunity to grow, and I'm really curious about it. And I believe that it makes us creative. It makes us resourceful, because you learn something that you haven't come across before. and you learn to deal with it. You learn to overcome it. So it's growth. But I think there is a important ingredient creating this kind of mindset, developing this mindset, is grounding yourself with your values, with your beliefs, with your spiritual being. So you have like really deep roots, like a tree. Got the deep roots. You're deeply rooted in your beliefs, in your values, and you're flexible above the surface. So when the storm comes, you're flexible, but you're really anchored with those. So working on this, I would recommend people to work on their values and understand their values, and also a spiritual being connected to something higher than yourself, but also gaining more confidence and certainty in yourself. And that could be diet, exercise, everything. It's all holistic. So yeah, I just want to finish it off with this.
Yeah,
kind of,
that was lovely.
Grounding yourself.
Yeah, Aaron, thank you so much. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thank you. Right, my beautiful Lee.
This is, I must say, I'm kind of blown away by what everyone's saying, because like I mentioned just previously before we started, I kind of looked this morning and I thought, should I look up the unknown? Like, what does one talk about? And I what came to mind initially was that the steps of learning, of the, you don't know that you don't know, and then you know that you don't know, and then you don't know what you know, and whatever, then you know that you know whatever. And I kind of thought about those, and I thought, in a way, that is what our whole sort of future is. And then I also thought, I looked up the unknown, and it said the known unknown, and I thought, no, that's too much difficulty. Let me talk, let's just go with the flow and see what's happening. And I'm just finding what each single one of you has said has just been like, yeah. The things that I hadn't even thought about are here, that you sort of, they're kind of just a natural flow that we go with. And, the days that we are feeling anxious and, like what Marcus was saying, I mean, wow, that's awesome stuff. Like each one of you, as I've been talking, I'm like, this is so good, because it's, if we can reframe that anxiety into something more positive and something more, we can channel that energy, that anxiety, bring all those unknown bits and kind of, in a way, sort of transmute them or change them into something that is a thing of excitement, because we don't know, we didn't know what we're going to talk about, but also there's a lot of unknown in me that is known to each one of you. There's different things, like, stuff I know that you don't know, and it's just like, isn't it kind of exciting that we don't all know the same thing? Because if we all knew the same thing, we all wanted the same thing, we all did the same thing, it would go back to what Marie was saying about us. How boring is it? And if I knew that I was going to live till whatever particular age, and I was going to die on that day, and I was going to have this many children, and my house was going to look like that, and there was no change or outlook or whatever, then what would I have to live for? But if I don't know, and the thought came to my mind was, when we were little, we used to go to the Kruger Park. Well, yeah, I still go, but with my dad, and he always used to say, for him it was so exciting that we kept looking, and we'd say, but Dad, we don't, there's nothing there. And he'd say, but you don't know when an elephant has walked across this road, or you don't know when a lion, where something, you never know. And maybe we turn that corner and an exciting sighting has just happened, or maybe we get there just before it. And his excitement and stuff just so came to my mind when you were sort of talking. In fact, just different ones of you have come. I think it was when Marcus first spoke, it started to come up to me, was that, yeah. And why can't we see life, or why can't I see life a bit more like that, like what Marie said, you go to the shops, you don't know what you're going to see, but everything is different, everything is new, and the only thing we can be certain about in life is change, isn't it? I mean, that's a saying also by somebody, I don't know, and it's so true. because it is the only thing that's going to happen that we can be certain about. And so if we resist it and we put up this big, thing around us, it's going to ruin everything for us. So we kind of have to just start going in and I love what you're saying, because it's kind of making me feel more excited about the fact that, yes, everything is possible. Yes, it's kind of just brought up lots of bubbly stuff listening to you guys. So thank you.
It's a pleasure. It is. And that's the thing, that as I say, the biggest creativity comes from the unknown, because we do have the opportunity to create anything we want, and we have the tools and the resources and the internet, which is incredible, and the way of communication out to everyone in the world, that everything is possible. All it takes is that germ of an idea that we can then grow into that beautiful tree that gets stronger and stronger over the years, and in 1,000 years' time your legacy is still going to be there, because that tree's still going to be there. It's still there, like what Aaron was saying about the roots. I love it, the grounding.
I still even remember when I was very, very little, going to a museum, on a school trip, and they had this I don't know what, it must have been a TV or something, and they said one day they're going to have this thing, or they were busy working on, that you could actually talk to somebody and you could see their face while you were talking. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, because how many times when you had your phone attached to the wall and you were kind of in the shower and you'd come with your towel around you in your undies and outside sitting, and yet here we all are. Not just two of us talking, like a bunch of us chatting. It's like awesome.
Do you know what? When you said that, that reminded me when I was a kid, and Epcot. Do you remember? Has anyone ever been to Epcot?
Yes. Yeah.
You know that, right? So anyone that hasn't been to Epcot, there's a big silver dome, right? And what it is, it's the journey through life and through time. So you get in this vehicle thing that takes you all around. And near the very end, now I was there on the opening of Epcot. I was very, very lucky enough to be there. This is years ago, right? And I remember, this is the days when phones were connected with the cord and the dialing numbers and all that. Because obviously I'm 21 still, so only a year ago.
I thought you was 25.
Exactly. I love you, Lay. Push it up. But back in the day, when I went around this thing, towards the end, they've got these figures. It's all like, not polystyrene. Not plaster of Paris, but these figures that they make in the rides and stuff at fairs and that. So it's all made of these things, and it's figures there and doing different things. And towards the end, there's a little kid lying on a bed, and he's got a tablet in his hand with his dad's face on it. And then you've got split screen, and then you've got the dad on the other side of wherever he is on the phone with his kid's face on it, right? And this is years ago. And I remember exactly like what you said, Lee, going around there and thinking, my God, that's space age. This is space age, right? But my goodness, we are here. Look at where we are. We are the future. We're living it. And that's just flipping incredible. That's incredible.
Also, just imagine and think what future generations, think, what will our kids have? What will they know? What will be, what are the inventions that are coming up through? And that brings it back to what we're talking about now. And it also brings it back to the whole sort of COVID situation that we're going through is, what are these children? What are these human beings, adults, sort of, the ones that are in there kind of, what are they creating? How are the new ways in which you guys are going to do music? How are the new ways are we going to, like even with coaching and stuff, I'm busy trying to change myself to become more web-based, more online-based, because I'm I feel a bit past that generation. And it's new and it's interesting, but it is the unknown, and it is something that I'm now being challenged to do.
Yeah.
And these great things come out of people. Was it Churchill or somebody who had that statement that said, out of great difficulty or adversity come great invention, or something like that. And it's true. this is not a war, but at the same time, people are falling apart left, right, and center, financially, domestic violence, the economies of countries, and it's bizarre. It's so, when we allow ourselves to think about that. But what is the unknown? What are the little seeds that are being planted now? What are the things that are coming up that are going to be like, if I could swear, I'd be going F off amazing,
Yeah.
And Lee, what you're saying as well, it's almost like but you're coming back to who you are, who you love, what you are authentically as a person, what makes you come alive, what makes you shine as a person. And you're merging everything into each other to create the ultimate Lee, or the ultimate us. You know, we are getting our goals and our true hearts and just merging them and being in a place where we can
do it
silent, and from the silence will come the message where we can be. And once you stop the noise, and once you stop the negativity, because that does attract other negativity in, but once you can silence it, or maybe find the cause of that fear, find the cause of your negativity and work on that, so that we can work from a place of calm. Question it, question where it comes from.
I would think, because also the human nature is so much the desire to know. When the exterior environment and the world does not give us this pseudo certainty we think we had, or the planning that we had that made us feel comfortable, that we've got some visual, as we said, or some, you know, a bit of a knowing, etc. Then the human nature is being such as us wanting to know. We have to now go and try to find within ourselves what we can no longer find outside. And I think this is also why this confinement's been, generated so much drama and stress, etc. So it's not good in the sense that it's generated all this. But what has been good about it is that it also gave an opportunity for people to go and search within all the certainty and the knowing that they had from outside. And that is extremely powerful, you know, and it also actually gives now the ability to deal with the unknown, because we start to get all those resources that we did not know we had. Funny enough, I think the fact we no longer know outside, we start to know from within. And knowing from within helps us to deal with not knowing from outside, because we can now get into that flow. Now we've got the resource. Now if we can get to know in our body what it should feel, what we should be living, and then we go with that flow to export that feeling so that it matches with the outside environment. So I think it's quite powerful somehow as well. It's shifting. What we know from outside generally stops us from looking inside. When we don't have it somewhere, we search. We always want to know, no matter what. If we can get the balance of the two, that is, that's the beauty to get what you read. And get the excitement of not knowing. When I don't know inside, okay, let me go and search. When I don't know outside, let me go and act and see what's happening. And it's just, now it's perfect if you get that right.
Yeah.
It is also true what you say there, Marie, is, you know, how many people, I was listening to something this morning and she was saying, you know, how many people go somewhere to try and find that feeling, to find the joy, you know? So do you go to the mountains for a walk because you're feeling so amazing and you just want to go for a walk in the mountains because it's going to make you feel even more beautiful? Or how many people are there because of that reason? And how many are there to try and make it nice, or going to the beach, or going to whatever, to try and get the feeling? Whereas if we can now, as we are being forced in our own homes, it's our challenge. We all have choice. What is your choice? Do we go into the fear and anxiety? Yes, some days we do. Or do we go into the, how can we recreate? How can we, you know, and find the feeling within ourselves? Then you can look out at the sky. Most of us have got a little bit of a view somewhere where you can look at some blue sky or some rainy sky or some, you know, I love that, going out there and being freezing on the lawn and watch. I mean, awesome. Like it's so much better than going to get the feeling, because so often you get, then you don't. And it's like going somewhere where the opportunity, where you're saying not what can I get out of this, but what can I give to this? You know, because a lot of us go places, what can I get? How can I feel better? How can I? Whereas rather, how can I give? How can I contribute? How can I, you know, listen, you know?
Yeah.
It's all the power of the mind, and it's the power of the mind, and it's the power of feeling. I think that is such a good thing, Ellie. Like you say, it's like we search for feelings. There's this thing of like something that dawned on me. I did a radio interview about this type of stuff the other day with one of our local stations, and one of the things came up was about feeling and the fact of what are we looking for when we're searching for things? If we buy a new house or a new car or a holiday or whatever it is, a new jumper, a watch, whatever we get, we're actually looking for a feeling. And the thing is just a material object that gives us a feeling. So I realized this, like the feeling of us doing shows and all that, that's all a feeling as well. And we start to get wrapped up in life. And I realized that one of the things, and I've said this a few times, what I love doing the most in life is when we're at home away from all the madness of everything, is just walking through the woods. Like, we're very lucky to live right on the countryside, and we walk through the woods for miles and miles with the dogs, and we're just there in that, and it brings you into the now, into that moment. And yesterday, we've been isolated for a while. My brother and his children have been isolated for a while. So we said, look, why don't we go for a walk and we'll just keep our distances? And we kind of went for this walk, and I was talking to my brother about just this type of stuff. Really, we were just chatting about things and coming back to the unknown. As my brother's in the same position as us. He owns some barbershops. Barbers are getting bombarded right now, so he wouldn't dare open if even if he wanted to. But so he's in the same position. You know, they have gone to, they've got staff to pay and all this, and even with the grants, it's a very difficult time for them. But they as a family are spending so much time together. We've all been very fortunate to come from nothing. We grew up 6 children. We all had different dads. And I've done a video on this morning. Our mum struggles with alcoholism, and like we didn't have the best start in life, and we've all done all right for ourselves. And we've traveled to so many beautiful places and stayed in so many beautiful things. But when we was younger, we went on one of our first holidays together as brothers. So me and my wife, not my wife at the time, but him and his partner, they're still not married, but they obviously had no children back then. And a couple of our friends came along with us, and we all had no money. We was all like young and broke and had all these dreams and ambitions. And we said, right, let's do a road trip to the south of France. So we got in our cars and we drove from the UK right down to the bottom of England, got the ferry over, camping on the side of the roads. And we got there a night early, because I'm like a trooper driving, and we was all convoy of each other. And we got there and we just slept on the beach. We just went, right, let's just sleep on the beach. We had this accommodation we was checking into, but the first night, and I remember the police coming along, and we thought we was in trouble. They actually was like trying to tell us where there was, they thought we was together. The guys was together and the girls was together for some weird reason. And it was trying to tell us where we can go. And it was just, they were telling us be careful and stuff. But it was just that we were saying that whole trip, without boring you with the whole trip, that whole trip just unfolded of all these crazy things that ended up happening. There were stories that have stayed with us for life. We even wrote a song about it. It's not a song to be proud of. It's just a funny, like cheesy song, but we wrote a song about it. And, you know, just the memories that we've got from the things that happened on that road trip. And even though we've been to all of these places all over the world where we've planned them, we've had these great holidays and been very fortunate, that is still one of our best holidays and our best memories. And one thing we've said, and I've been messaging all my friends, and we've said, right, when the second the lockdown is lifted, no matter what, because we've been forced to take this time out, let's not just rush. Of course, we need to get back to work, and of course, we need to go and do that. But it's one opportunity before life takes back over. Let's get our cars, let's get in them, let's get on the ferry, and let's do a trip. Let's do that road trip, because it'll be so good for the children to experience that. It's a whole new ball game now. We're older, and we've got children involved, and all this, and that is the unknown. That's like that trip was an unknown trip. It turned out to be one of our best memories we've ever done, and we could like go and relive that a little bit like part 2 to a movie. And we don't know what's going to happen. We won't even plan it. Not trying to have expectations on the first trip, but like now we're further down the line. Let's just take that leap of like, let's not make plans. Let's not book hotels. Let's not do anything. If we end up sleeping on a beach, who cares? It's hot weather down there, and it'd be so exciting for the kids. We're safe. We're all adults, and we can, you get the picture.
Yeah, I get it.
And that for me, again, it's just that excitement of just like knowing that we don't know what's going to happen. We can make plans, but sometimes those plans just change in an instant. You know, I never planned on getting married. Anybody that knew that I got married would thought I'd gone crazy. I was like, I never planned on getting married. I certainly never planned on settling down. And, you know, and then just this girl comes into my life 16 years ago. And I never imagined that, you know, 16 years later, I'd be married, like living in a house together, traveling around the world together, being my best friend and business partner. And this was just I'll never forget the night we met. My brother was like, she was actually, so really, I won't go into the story, but because it's not the most romantic story, she was actually dating my brother's friend. So my brother was like, have you seen this guy's girlfriend? She's like, and I was like, she's really tall. I'm a short guy. I mean, she's so tall. She reminds me of a giraffe.
The most beautiful giraffe in the world, though. Eh?
And I still tell her that now, but she is like, we're trying to do these TikTok challenges, and we're like, they're just not designed for us because I'm short. I'm like 5'3", and she's like 5'8". So, but you know, it's amazing to think that we met each other. You know, everything, we didn't know that we was even. I didn't even imagine that this girl was going to become my wife one day, you know. So it's just these synchronicities and these crazy things. And they do say we're all talking about this and where this energy comes from. There's a theory that everything, all existence exists at once, and everything that has ever happened is out there. So that's where Einstein and Tesla say they got their thoughts from. It was kind of this mass consciousness there where everything we've ever thought or done is there in existence, and we all have this weird thing where there is actually two of us. There's here me talking to you guys, and there's this weird voice that's always chirping away in the background, and that is the unknown, because this voice is just so irrational and strange. It tells you to do such strange things, but there's this, and that's what I'm saying. It's like there's just so much unknown. Like where does this consciousness come from? Like where does this all channel from? And that can come into life and take that, like we've all said today, is this excitement of not knowing what's around the corner. And even when you've got a plan, things can change on that plan, and something that can take you to a better destination, or whatever. It's an exciting time, and I think the more people can try and reframe themselves with that, the more excitement they can get out of the unknown.
I love that. Thank you so much. Oh, I love hearing all your stories. I love hearing everyone's stories, because it's so important, because it's so personal, you know. And I think by being authentically who we are and bringing our own personal experiences into this, I think we can just grow and learn even more, you know, because we all do learn from each other.
And that was an unknown thing.
I love it. But what we do know is right now, right here, right now, how we're feeling right now, what we need right now, what we want right now. If in our whole being, in our present, that's what we do know. So if we do go into a place of maybe anxiety about the unknown, if we can bring it back into the present and into the place where we do know, so that it calms those nerves of the unknown, and the fear of the unknown is quietened down, and you can get into that present space, then the power all the power that you need and all the resources you need are here right now. So it's quietening the noise if there is a fear, and just coming back to what we do know, which is right now, right here, right now. And everything can be dealt with from a place of here, right now as well, because nothing is impossible. And say you're worried about, I don't know, a bill that needs to be paid next month, because we're in, you know, times of uncertainty financially for a lot of us. So you're worried about that. But if you bring it back into the right here, right now, and you can trust that bill will be paid. There is a way to pay the bill. Or do we need that bill? Do we need to pay that bill? Is it important in our lives right here, right now? If it's the roof over your head, can you talk to someone to explain the situation and be authentically who you are, so that then there's a communication there between the parties, so that everyone's understanding? Because we are in the uncertain times financially, but that doesn't mean that we have to fear that, because everything can be dealt with from a place of now. So communication is key. Yeah, so to me, bringing it into the present's the most powerful thing in the world, because it is real. That is real. It's right now. So can I throw that out maybe to someone else and say, I want to say the question would be, someone's dealing with anxiety about their job position in the future. Can I throw that out? What would anyone say?
I'll maybe bounce on what you say. Yeah, I would totally, you know, advise and back up what you're saying, in a sense that bring it back to the present. And yes, the worry and the unknown with regards, for example, to the job or the situation, it is real, because this is what we are feeling now. And maybe just welcome that feeling, in a sense that, yes, okay, I'm worried, and what am I going to do about it? What can I do to make it better? Bring it back to the feeling. This is what I'm feeling right now. Once this has been welcomed, and I would say with no judgment, not like it's good, it's not good, that's the way I feel. Once that is done, my next suggestion would be to say, okay, when it is, can I try to remember time where I also felt that worry? But yet, it turned out that I could manage, and it worked out well. So really try to tap into any experience, just to calm down the emotion, calm down the brain, that it's okay to feel like this. I actually already felt like this before. And you know what? It all worked out. So try to tap back into those moments. Once we've got that moment and you can feel that moment, you can maybe feel the anxiety that we had, or the worry of the unknown at the time, and how it felt when it all turned out that it was okay. I mean, I get the goose just telling you, because we can almost do those little jump as to how, almost like those little quantic jump, where this is what I was feeling, and this is what it turned out. And the feeling when it turned out it was okay, I could picture myself thinking it wasn't okay. So just try to get the emotion settled with that. And then when that is done, maybe picture yourself now in the future. Yes, at the time I didn't know I would handle it, but I did. Yes, today I do not know how this is going to be handled. Yes, it's frightening me. And yes, I might be petrified, and that's okay. It's just a bit, but it all, just like I feel like this right now, I know I can feel differently tomorrow, because I don't know how, but this is going to change. This is just right now. And the power of right now goes in two ways. Just right now that I'm feeling sad, just right now that I'm anxious, but tomorrow I'm not. And just right now I can bring myself back into an emotion. Right now I can take over that emotion, because sadness was 2 minutes ago. Now my mind is trying to connect to something greater, right? Yeah. So that becomes my new now. And try to keep it as much as it is. But I think being gentle with ourselves, because it is a human nature to want to know. We want to know, we want to plan, it's a security that we need, like coming, we need that security to know that sometimes we can be at rest. We don't have to put the effort, we can sleep without worrying. That's what it comes from, essentially, isn't it?
Oh, I love that. I love that, Marie. Absolutely. So I was going to say, Lee, did you want to maybe do maybe a short? We were thinking of maybe doing like a meditation or something, weren't we? So I think
I was thinking, actually, while Marie was talking now, I was going to go on to a tangent about doing things as well. Like, I don't know about there, but here we've got the, so many people that have nothing. So if you've had time to clean up, clean out, have you got clothing, have you got whatever to give? Because also when you're feeling so bad, when you do something for someone else, it helps. But I think it's quite a valuable thing to do something with regard to the sort of the anxiety and fear. So if we do a little sort of a meditation as a tool, a little kind of, particularly, I mean, now that we've all been talking, we're probably in quite a good space. So we're not thinking of the worries and the fears and things like that. But use it anyway, because there might be things that you are worrying about in the background that aren't with us right now. And I'll make it quick, but I still think it's quite nice for us to actually spend just a little bit of time just sort of calming down and becoming more sort of, in that space. So just take a few deep breaths now, breathing in. And if you want, you can close your eyes. If you don't, fine, just find a nice spot to look at. And breathing in. And as you exhale, just imagine letting go of anything that you don't need right now. That's right. And in fact, breathing in now, take a nice deep breath in and just hold it for me. And allow anything that you don't need just for the moment to attach to the breath. So as you exhale, you can just let that leave your body with the breath. And because it's just a beautiful way to experience calm, I want you just to imagine the color red. And as you do, just allow the body to relax. Just allow the red in any which way that you experience it. You may imagine seeing it, you imagine feeling it. Just let the body go down, relax. And now just allow that red to turn into orange and experience the color orange. That's right. Excuse my dog snoring if you can hear in the background. Just let the emotions calm with the orange. And drift gently into the color yellow. You can even think about Marie's beautiful lemon yellow, or yellow green. That's right. Allow the physical body to calm with this yellow now. And drift easily and gently from yellow into green. And just let peace take over. Let this green allow peace to settle in your mind and in your body as you gently drift into blue, the color of love. Perhaps you can imagine a beautiful blue love fulfilling your being now, filling from the toes upwards, from above, pouring into you and around you. And as you drift into purple, know that purple is a very aspirational color. We've been discussing the unknown, but we all need to have goals anyway. And those goals are things that we move towards. And so you need those aspirations, knowing that you're moving in a direction which may change at some point in time. Like floating on a ship, sailing ship. You've got the wind, you've got the water, you've got your boat or your ship. And you never know when the wind is going to change or the weather's going to change. But you can change those aspirations, those goals. And that allows to bring harmony. So just drift into the color violet. And allow your body, your mind, your heart, just for now, I know this is a very short time, but just to settle in the harmony. And imagine that you're standing somewhere beautiful. In nature is usually best. And it's a beautiful evening. And you can see all the stars in the sky. And I want you to imagine while you're standing there, just noticing around you what you see. Some people are very visual and they see. Some people sense it. Some people need to create it and think it. However you experience it is fine for you. And just imagine that you see a number of sort of small spheres of energy. Almost like stars, but you know that they're different. They may be different color, but they're little balls of energy. And as you look at them, you realize that each one of these balls of energy represents one of the worries, the anxieties, the fears that you may feel. It represents them. And I want you now to picture a giant hand reaching out towards them. And this is your hand. All the spheres begin gravitating towards your hand. They come together into your hand. And as these little energy balls, energy spheres, different colors, whatever, they merge in your hands to become one. And they're forming this single ball of energy. And as it stands in your hand, make sure that every little sphere that you're aware of comes now to fill that ball on your hand. That's right. And now shrink it down because you can. Just allow it to shrink smaller, smaller, and smaller, so that it fits into the palm of your hand. And I want you now, using the power of your mind, to transform this ball of energy into concrete. These are your worries. They're tangible. These are your fears, anxieties. They are a tangible ball of concrete in your hand. You control them. And feel how it feels to be in control and to have contained them. You may notice that they're even shrinking smaller now. And as you hold that tiny ball in your hand, I want you to close your hand around that ball of concrete, that sphere, and just know that you are strong. And as you squeeze this ball, you just crush it, your strength. Crush it with the power of your hand into dust, and you've just pulverized those worries. Look at that dust in the palm of your hand and blow it away. And watch as it drifts and blows away. And then you can notice that the sky is lightening, becoming lighter and lighter and brighter and clearer. Perhaps the sun is beginning to rise. And as you do, from that purple harmony, feeling calm, relaxed, successful, happy, knowing that you make a difference, you can drift now back from that violet down into purple and notice that you may even have more new aspirations. And into blue, experiencing a different kind of love. Stronger strength to protect and guard you as you drift. Back into green, allowing the peace to come with you. Into yellow, aware of your mind and how you plan to go forward. And shifting into orange now, being aware of your emotions and knowing that you can now move forward feeling more excited, more happy, more free, more calm. And as you drift into red, become aware of your physical body, and when everything is connected in the way that it needs to connect correctly and rightly and perfectly for you, you will just gently open your eyes.
That was awesome.
That's beautiful.
Oh, Lee, that was just incredible. That was so powerful.
Yay, good.
Oh, my darling. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I just want to say, now I'm on my beach.
Good.
Oh, it was so visual. It was so wonderful. It's amazing. Thank you so much. So thank you, everybody. Honestly, yet again, there are no words because it's unknown. It's unknown. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I'm just so grateful to you all for enhancing my life in every single area of it. So thank you for being with me today. It was incredible. What an amazing thing that we just experienced.
I agree. It was just the whole session was just divine. Like all the little snippets from I promise you, every one of you has just made me feel so much better today. Just, yeah.
Thank you.
Just go.
Thank you.
So I'm going to say now to wrap up, because it's now time. I'm going to end with a quote from Alan Wyatt, which I think is quite a nice quote. So let me read this out. I can't even talk now. By replacing fear of the unknown with curiosity, we open ourselves to an infinite stream of possibility. We can let fear rule our lives, or we can become childlike with curiosity, pushing our boundaries, leaping out of our comfort zones, and accepting what life puts before us. So go live your life to the fullest, embrace change, ride the waves of possibility, ride the waves of fear as well, and experience life to the fullest, because you will, because when you let that go, it's a beautiful thing. You will not regret it. That is a promise. So on that note, I want to say thank you to you all. Thank you everyone that's watching. Anyone that's watching, I'm going to list everybody's contact details in the description. They're all incredible. Oh my gosh. So please check everybody out and follow us on our journey. Thank you for joining us. Like the page, subscribe, share, let other people get value from this as well. And we will see you next time. So God bless from us, and bye from us. I'm going to just stop streaming live.
Cheers, everybody.
Okay, here we go. Stop.